Zipline Movement in Apex Legends is by far my favorite way to play the game. When I was first starting out, watching my inspirations like Faide and aceu just completely destroy people in zipline building with their movement was by far my favorite thing to do at the time. And I know when I was first starting out, it was very, very daunting to get into because there's dozens and dozens of movement techniques, especially ones that not many people know about it or people gatekeep them. And most of the YouTube videos on this topic are out of date completely, or there's just been new things discovered since then. So I thought this video would benefit a lot of people, whether you're just starting out looking to get into zipline movement or you're an advanced player. I get advanced players coming to me all the time asking for just like simple things that they can do to improve their zipline movement, or how do I do this tech? What are the inputs for this one? So basically covering everything. No matter your skill level, no matter your hours, you're going to learn something. I'm going to briefly be explaining the easier techniques because this is more of an advanced guide. You should already kind of know these techniques. So if you don't know the basic techniques, I will be covering them, but just not more in depth as the advanced ones. Now in this video, I'm going to be sectioning it off into 3 sections. It'll be all timestamped down below for your viewing pleasure. But number 1, we're going to be covering basic fundamentals and combos. This is going to be your bread and butter. As soon as you walk into a zipline building, this should be second nature for you and you should do this straight away. Number 2, individually looking at the techniques and how to apply them. We're going to be going in depth on the inputs. We're going to have a keyboard overlay. We're going to have all that stuff. And finally, number 3, how to implement them into your play style to get a kill and how to actually, use them in fights. So yeah, like I said, every technique will be timestamped, so feel free to skip ahead. But I do intend for you guys to watch this in a linear path so you can understand. It'll be ordered from how I think you should learn them. So I recommend you watching it from start to finish, but it's up to you. But I've already spoken too much. I don't want to waste any more of you guys' time. I know you're just here for the techniques, so let's get into that. Alright, so before we get into the more advanced stuff, it's super important to understand the basic combos of just going up zipline building and just super jumping in general. So if you're a new player, this is going to be super important to build good habits. But if you're already well versed in zipline movement and you already know the basics, feel free to skip ahead. This is really only for the new players. In this category, we're going to be covering super jumping, super jump tap strafes, and zipline crouching. Now these 3 are the main pillars of zipline movement. Mainly super jumping and zipline crouching. Super jump tap strafe is kind of just like an add-on. But I'm just going to cover it real quick. Super jumping is basically looks like this. You get a little bit of height off the zipline compared to just a normal zipline jump. So super jumping is used from going to the bottom floor up to the top floor like this. And the actual inputs are fairly straightforward. It's you just press your interact key and then your scroll wheel down for jump, basically simultaneously. Maybe press E a little bit sooner, but they're basically at the same time. So yeah, that's basically super jumping. You can try to practice it just on the bottom floor of streamer building. Just press E and then scroll wheel down just like this and just keep going until you get it down pretty consistently. It's super, super important that you get these on lock. You should be able to 100% do them all the time. There shouldn't even be a doubt in your mind that you'll fail it. So just get them on lock. Zipline crouching is fairly straightforward as well. You basically just want to press E on the zipline like this, and then you just want to crouch off it. So E crouch. You see how I get that little slide boost? E crouch. So what I just did there, I added in a 180 turn in between my E and my crouch. So I went E 180 crouch, and you can start to see how this can actually be kind of useful in a fight. So like boom. Now you can do the same thing on the top floor as well, but it's super important to look at this little square right here. Because if you look kind of straight forward, you might get stuck on this little lip right here. So just make sure you're looking up. It's not necessary to look up, but if you play low sense, it can be kind of hard to turn around in time. You can do it if you're fast enough like that, but it's just way more consistent for me if I look up like that. You can also do a zip crouch falling like this. So that's super, super important to negate like the fall stun. So if I fall from the top floor, I'm going to get a fall stun like that. But if I just interact with the zip line, I'll negate it. The final thing we'll be covering is the super jump tap strafe. I wanted to include this in the fundamentals because it's not that advanced. As the name suggests, it's a super jump with a tap strafe after it. It can be kind of confusing at first, but it's really not that difficult. To go upper floor, so right now I'm on the 3rd floor. If I want to go to the top floor, what I need to do is a super jump tap strafe. Basically how that works, I'm just going to super jump up like this, but as soon as I scroll my mouse wheel down, I'm going to input a bunch of tap strafes and then turn my mouse. So it looks something like this. You want to make sure you're kind of looking up as well, so you clear this little lip right here. So yeah, so it's just E, down, up. And that's basically all the fundamentals. Alright, more advanced stuff. Let's get straight into the elite jump. Elite jumping is super underrated. I only just recently learned how to do it. Basically what it looks like is this. So yeah, you can do it on the same floor or you can do it on different floors. I'll quickly show you what that looks like. So yeah, it's just super useful. It basically gives you the same effect as a super jump tap strafe, but it gives you a little bit more distance. So if I just do a normal super jump tap strafe, I'm not going to go nearly as far as I just did with the elite jump. So when starting out with elite jumps, I really recommend practicing on just a standalone vertical zipline like this right here. Whether that be in the firing range or just a pathy zipline that I have right now. Both of them work the same, but the actual inputs of an elite jump are pretty similar to a super jump. You're just adding one more aspect to it. So what you're going to do, you're going to interact with the zipline like you would with a normal super jump, but instead of just scroll wheeling down straight away, you're going to turn your camera in a 180 degree, so like this. So it's very, very fast, so I don't know if controller players are able to do this. Maybe on a higher sensitivity, but it's pretty much unlikely. A tip that really helped me complete this movement technique was thinking of the 3 different inputs separately. So 1, I'm going to press interact, 2, turn around, 3, jump off. Note, if you look higher up on the zipline, you will go higher, and if you look lower on the zipline, you'll go lower. So if I look all the way up here, I'll go a little bit higher. That's super important when applying this movement technique in streamer building, because you need to be conscious of where you're looking on the zipline. What I mean by that is, if you want to elite jump on this floor, you need to be looking down on the zipline so you don't hit your head like that. Me personally, it kind of helps me when I get a running start, but you can do it just fine if you stand still as well. So yeah, it's really a fast motion. You want to look down on the zipline and then just interact, 180, jump. On the other hand, if you want to go up a floor, you're going to need to look as far as you can up the zipline. But that's basically everything with elite jumping. It's super, super helpful if you want to get up on the roof right here. One thing to note is you can also tap strafe out of this. So what I mean by that is you can go like this, tap strafe up onto this roof right here, or you can go over here. Yeah, just the possibilities are really endless with this one. Get creative with it. Next thing we'll be covering is the Zipline Crouch Wall Bounce, popularized by Treery. I'll leave this channel in the description below if you want to check him out. Yeah, this one's super practical in fights because it's super easy to do and really consistent. Basically, all you're doing is you're just doing a normal zip crouch like this, but adding just a tap strafe and then a wall bounce after it. This can be done on the bottom floor as well as the top floor. So perform a zipline crouch and then just tap strafe into the wall like that. Keep in mind you can also tap strafe out of the wall bounce, so you can actually get on the roof with this. And if you want to combo some wall bounces together, you can always wall bounce off this one as well, and then go back and keep doing it. This one's probably my favorite technique in zipline building to use. Super practical, super useful. Not too hard to get it down. It just feels super satisfying to do. You can also do this by looking up as well, like that, which is kind of easier because you don't have to turn around. But yeah, that's basically zipline wall bounces. I'm not really sure how to break it down even further. Just always refer to my keyboard overlay, slow it down in the YouTube media player, in case you're still confused. If you're still confused, you can always check out Treery's video on a tutorial on how he does it. He just posted it about a week ago and it's super helpful. I'll leave it linked in the description below if you want to check it out. But let's move on. Mantle Cancels. Mantle Cancels is very interesting. Basically, a Mantle Cancel gets rid of your jump fatigue and lets you do a bunch more movement techniques that you wouldn't be able to do. For example, if I do a super jump like this and then I try to do just a normal zipline crouch, as you can see, I have jump fatigue and the timing is just really messed up. But if I do a Mantle Cancel, my jump fatigue is gone. That's because Mantle Cancels cancel jump fatigue. The reason why I have jump fatigue is because every time I do a super jump like this, the next bounce I do will be jump fatigue. So if you want to go up a building with your super jumps and do a wall bounce at the end, you'll have to do a Mantle Cancel. It looks super complicated, but it's really not that hard. All a Mantle Cancel really is jumping off the zip line a bit early and holding down crouch. If you jump off the zip early, you'll be in a mantle like this, and if you press crouch, you'll just cancel it and then your jump fatigue will be gone. To combo this with a zipline wall bounce, you're going to look up, cancel it, you're going to look up, interact with the zip line and then crouch off it again. So interact, crouch, and then do the wall bounce. So it's Mantle Cancel, up, interact, crouch, wall bounce. So as you can see, I go up the zip line, jump off a little bit early so I get that mantle, and then I look up, press E, crouch, jump, tap strafe, wall bounce. That's super useful and they just look really, really flashy as well. So yeah, have fun with it. Do you remember when I first found this out, I was super stoked about it just because it looked so sick. Sticking to the mantle category, we're going to be covering the Mantle Crouch. Basically, there's this dude on Twitter called RMSB. He's actually insane at this movement technique, and I'll play a clip right now of what it looks like. As you can see, he shoots and then just seemingly teleports down to the previous floor. I'll break this down for you. The inputs are easy, but mastering it is very difficult, especially in gunfights. So basically, like we just learned with the Mantle Cancel, it involves around roughly the same concept The inputs are mantle like this, crouch, look down, E. So crouch, look down, E. These inputs have to be performed in a quick succession for it to work. And it's super hard to incorporate a shotgun shot as well. A cool thing you can do is add a wall bounce at the end of it like that. This movement technique not only looks flashy, but it's super hard to deal with if someone's doing this to you. Alright, we're moving on to mantle jumps. Mantle jumps. I freaking love mantle jumps, man. I love mantle jumping. I'm by far the best at it out of all these techniques. And not many people can do them consistently. But there's a few tips that I've picked up on from other people and stuff that I've just found out myself that have helped me a ton. I'm going to be sharing you the secret sauce. Most of these tips are from the villain side. You should go check him out. He made a super good mantle jumping video. Before I watched that video, I couldn't really do it consistently. After that, I could do them basically every time. He breaks it down super well, and I won't be able to do it justice, but I'm going to try. Alright, so if you don't know, mantle jumping looks like this. At its core, it is a mantle cancel with a super jump. Now, the timing for the mantle cancel is super important with the mantle jump because sometimes you can hit your head, sometimes you can undershoot it and hit the lip on the floor. So for an example, if I do it a little bit too late like that, I'm gonna hit my head on this little roof right here. But if I do it too early, I'm just gonna do that. I'm gonna hit my body against that little edge right there, and I'm not gonna do anything. Alright, so right here, I'm going for the mantle jump. As you can see on the zipline already, I'm pre-holding down crouch and W. I do this, it's super important, you don't have to. I just find it a little bit easier to digest if I'm already pressing two of the inputs. And I don't need to jump off of it and then repress them. So, as I'm going up the zipline, I'm just holding down crouch and W. So I'm still holding it down, I'm going up, I'm jumping. I hit the ledge right here. My velocity is 0. I'm still holding down W because I want to climb the ledge a little bit. Still holding down W. I'm climbing the ledge right now. This frame right here. As soon as we see the floor of this level right here, like the ground becomes visible, we want to let go of W. As soon as we let go of W, our mantle is going to start canceling. Another frame. As you can see here, I'm pressing S. You don't need to press S because your mantle will be cancelled anyway, but if you don't know how mantle cancels work, as soon as you press S from a mantle, your mantle will cancel. So it gives a really good indication of when you can go for the mantle jump by pressing S. So you don't have to press S. It's really consistent if you do press S because you know that you can go for the mantle jump as soon as you hit that S key because you know the mantle cancels over. And then right here, I'm looking down. No, you don't have to look all the way down at the ground. You can kind of look at this diagonal area. So I'm starting to look down. I interact with the zipline with E, and then I just do a normal super jump like that. One thing to note is you can also tap strafe out of the mantle jump as well to get on the roof like this. Or one of my favorites you can do is just mantle over here to the right if they're right in front of the zipline shaft. They won't expect it at all because most likely an enemy is going to be waiting up here just for you to come up. So if you mantle jump and you go all the way up to the right, they're not really going to expect it. So you're not limited to mantle jumping only off the top floor. You can do them on any floor as well. Personally, I love to do them off like these floors here. So the first floor, like that. Basically, what I'm doing is I'm just performing a normal mantle jump, but I'm kind of looking down and to the left. So when I interact with the zipline again, it launches me like that instead of straight up. It's a super flicky motion and it's kind of hard to get down at first. But in my opinion, these are probably easier than your normal mantle jumps. Also, construction building, mantle jumps work much the same. One thing to note is you can also mantle jump off this one right here. This zipline is probably my favorite to mantle jump off. Just because it's very nice if there's like a team up here. Usually people like to sit up here and wait for you. So yeah, hopefully I did the mantle jump justice. It's probably my favorite movement tech out right now. Now we're going to be covering float jumping. Float jumping is super cool. Float jumping allows you to tap strafe out of a normal zipline jump like this. So normally if I do a zipline jump, I can't tap strafe out of it. Obviously I can tap strafe out of a super jump, but I'm just specifically talking about zipline jump like this. The inputs for this is E, crouch, jump. So it's similar timing to a normal super jump, but you're just putting a crouch input in between your E and your jump. You kind of want to press your crouch and your interact around the same time. Yeah, basically this allows you to tap strafe. You can wall bounce out of it. So using this float jump technique that we've just learned, we can actually apply it to a wall bounce. So that looks like that. So I literally don't even touch the ground. I just go straight from the zipline around to the wall. This is super cool because I don't actually touch the ground. That means I don't use my slide. So as soon as I do the wall bounce, I can then slide again. So yeah, here's me doing a normal float jump, and as you can see, I can slide at the end. And then this is just a normal zipline bounce. As you can see, I can't slide at the end, I just dead slide. So yeah, super useful, super cool. You can also utilize the float jump just to like tap strafe out of the zipline shaft like that. So if you've watched Treery's Zipline Crouch Wall Bounce tutorial, he talks briefly about something called the Mantle Jump, Mantle Space Jump. It's different from a normal Mantle Jump. Basically, instead of a Mantle Crouch, like that, you can do a Mantle Jump. So instead of pressing Crouch after your Mantle Cancel, you press Jump. Like that. Still experimenting with some possibilities that you can use this on and some implementations, but it is pretty cool. So yeah, it's just good to know that you can do that. Alright, so those are basically all the advanced techniques that I think you should know. I might have missed a couple, I'm sorry. I'll probably do individual guides of them later for the ones that I've missed or the new ones that have come out. But let's move on to some implementations. I'm going to be quickly explaining and showing you some examples of how I've used these in gunfights to help you win. So with the zipline super jump, if someone's holding your door right here and then you're kind of in a stalemate, no one's really doing anything, you can quickly run over to the zipline, do a super jump, get behind them, and then shoot them like that. Show a clip right now of me doing it with the sentinel. Oh my god. And because I'm in the air for 90% of that movement, you can't really hear anything. The only audio available for the enemy to hear is legit just the zipline, so they don't know where you've gone. They don't know if you've gone down or up, but that you've actually gone behind them. So it's pretty cool. And I have tons of clips showcasing how I've used mantle jumps in fights. I'll show one right now. This is probably my favorite clip I've ever hit. They literally had no idea what I was doing. They couldn't even keep up. Legit broke all of their necks. So yeah, I might play a couple more. Yeah, that's probably why mantle jumping is my favorite, just because it's so useful and reliable. With a zip crouch, if someone's holding the bottom floor and you know they're on the bottom, you can do a falling zip crouch wall bounce. Just completely catch them off guard. And for the Mantle Crouch, I personally haven't hit anything crazy, but I will show a clip of RMSB on Twitter. You guys should go follow him. His link will be in the description below. And yeah, that's basically all I have for you today. I hope this video helped you at least once. A massive shout out to everyone who discovered these techniques and popularized them. I'll leave a link to all my sources in the description below where I learnt these and kind of first originally learnt these techniques. Sorry for this long period with no uploads. It's been about 2 weeks. I've been trying to record this video for about a week and a half and it just wouldn't happen. But I have filmed and edited this on the exact same day, so leave a like rating down below for your boy. I already have another gameplay that I can upload soon, so yeah, expect frequent videos. Also streaming on Twitch a lot more often. Try and stream maybe 3 times a week, so hit that link in the description below, see what's up. Follow the Twitter, you already know, we posting stuff daily over there. Nah, but for real though, Twitter's a really good way to connect with me. If you just want to tell me something, ask me something, hit me with a DM. And then obviously the Discord server as well in the description. The Discord's really to be involved in the community and suggest video ideas, talk to me directly, ask questions. It's a really good place for movement players to chill and hang out. So yeah, hit that up. Subscribe. We're about to hit 5.5k. Hit that subscribe button, baby. But that's me. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm out.